There was a point in history when humanity's entire future depended on roughly the population of a high school. Not an exaggeration. That is the actual number. You exist only because one of your distant ancestors was among the final 1,280 humans left on Earth. You are probably picturing some absolute unit of a human. Muscles out, jaw set, staring down catastrophe with pure ancestral rage. Yeah, that is not who saved us. The people who made it through were not the strongest or the bravest. They were just the ones who, over and over, happened to be standing slightly to the left when everything went wrong. Wrong place, right time, wrong food, happened to spit it out. Wrong path, happened to take a nap before walking it. That is your entire origin story, not destiny. A coin landing heads up thousands of times in a row for thousands of years straight. So, let's count down 4 moments that nearly deleted your family tree before it even got started. Number 4, the 1918 flu. Humanity had just survived 4 years of trenches, poison gas, and industrial-scale human suffering. Soldiers were finally coming home. The war was over, but the universe was not done. The 1918 flu infected roughly a third of the world's population, somewhere between 50 and 100 million dead, more than the entire war that had just ended. And it had one specifically evil twist. It did not kill the elderly and the weak like most flus. It targeted healthy adults in their 20s and 30s. The exact people everyone assumed were untouchable.
Hey, Doc. I don't feel so good.
Cities ran out of coffins, hospitals ran out of beds. Doctors had no antivirals, no answers, and genuinely no framework to even explain what was killing people. Just masks, prayers, and the quiet acceptance that they were completely out of their depth. The war made it worse. Soldiers packed into ships, crossing every corner of the globe, carrying it everywhere. Your ancestor might have been in one of those camps, breathing that air, surrounded by people who did not walk out. Somehow, they did. Number 3, smallpox in the Americas. Late 1400s, European ships land in the Americas. They bring flags, horses, the unshakable confidence of people who have never been wrong about anything, and one invisible passenger: smallpox. Indigenous populations had 0 prior exposure, 0 immunity. The virus moved through communities faster than any army ever could. Entire cities that had thrived for centuries were hollowed out before a single soldier arrived to fight. Some regions lost up to 90% of their population. Not soldiers. Everyone. Grandparents, infants, healers, leaders, whole generations of knowledge and language gone within decades. If your ancestry runs through that era and that region, you exist because someone in your line had one microscopic biological quirk that gave them just enough of a fighting chance. Not bravery, just slightly better cellular luck than the person standing next to them. Number 2, the Younger Dryas. About 12,800 years ago, the planet was finally warming up after the last ice age. Glaciers retreating, forests returning, humans settling down and genuinely starting to think they had figured things out. Then, temperatures across the northern hemisphere crashed by up to 10 degrees Celsius in roughly a decade. A comet impact over the ice sheets is the leading theory, triggering wildfires, throwing debris into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight for years. Others blame glacial meltwater flooding the North Atlantic and shutting down ocean currents entirely. Either way, the result was the same. Winter came back and stayed for 1,200 years. Every food source, migration route, and hunting ground that generations had spent centuries memorizing, useless in one bad decade. And nobody had any idea why. No satellites, no scientists, no podcast explaining it. Just freezing nights, vanishing food, and the growing realization that whatever this was, it was not a bad week. It was the new world. Your ancestors survived not because they were the wisest or strongest, but because they were in the right valley with enough resources when it hit. Number 1, the Toba Bottleneck. And now we are back to where we started. About 74,000 years ago on the island of Sumatra, a supervolcano called Toba erupted. It was the largest volcanic eruption in 2 million years, roughly 5,000 times more powerful than Mount St. Helens. It blasted so much ash and sulfur into the atmosphere that it triggered a volcanic winter lasting years. Global temperatures dropped by up to 15 degrees Celsius. In some regions, the sky went dark and stayed dark. Forests collapsed. Food chains collapsed. Most large animal species across South Asia were wiped out entirely. And the human population, already small, got absolutely decimated. Genetic evidence puts the total number of surviving humans somewhere between 1,000 and 10,000. Some estimates go lower. Around 1,280 people, accounting for children and the elderly, on the entire planet. No backup population somewhere else. No second group on a different continent. One bad disease sweeping through the wrong camp, one drought hitting the wrong region, one storm at the wrong moment. And there is no recovery, not a setback, not a dark chapter. The end for everyone, forever. But against all the odds, a small group of humans made it through the worst of it without quite dying. One nap less, and the boulder crushes them. A minute earlier, and the saber-tooth gets them. Every philosopher, tyrant, artist, athlete, and completely ordinary person watching a stickman video on YouTube, all of them trace back to that tiny group sitting in the dark, waiting to find out if the sky would ever clear. It did. And here you are. Thanks for watching Flint World. You made it through a supervolcano, 2 pandemics, and a frozen planet to end up here. The least eventful thing you will do today is hit subscribe. See you in the next one.